If you have a Janome Mylock 134D and you're scared of having to change your threads like Jan was, today's video is for you. I'll lift the guides up, and to dechain I actually want to remove all of these threads, so I'm just going to cut them off and take them out at the back. If you're inexperienced with overlockers or sergers, at this point you will probably think that if the foot's up and I pull on this, I'd be able to get it out, but I can't. And that's because the needle threads are doing things together with the looper threads down underneath, and I need to do what's called dechaining to get them so that they're not interfering with each other. To do this, I wind the flywheel, which is here on the right, backwards 2 whole stitches. So the needles are up at the moment, I go down, up, down, up. At that point I have unknotted them, and now when I pull on that, they come out. When you gently open the front cover of the machine, and there is an arrow here that says pull it to the right and down, it exposes this little threading guide. If you have a look here, the numbers relate to colours, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, reading from right to left. And the reason they do that is because they want you to thread them in this order. In fact, it's necessary for the machine to operate that they be done in that order. I have placed the appropriate threads to match the colours on the machine on the back. The 2 external ones you can just bring from the back to the front. The middle ones, in order to make them work on this, bring them from the front across, and they will then go the right way through the little guides, and with the far one it's just from the back to the front again. So that is as interesting as the telescope bit gets. Next we're going to be going through the first guide on the actual machine part, and in each case there are 2 little holes. They're marked with the colours in between them. We bring the thread down through the left hole, up and over and down through the right hole, and it's the same for each one. Now I'm going to do all of the rest of the green thread, which is the lower looper. I'm not going to do anything with any of the other colours until the green one is done. Green thread I take from the left to the right and just pull it across. We then go around the tension disc, up and over the guide just to the left of it. At this point we need to make sure that the thread is properly in that disc. Take both ends and pull it. I'm going to take the green thread through this guide, which is from the right to the left, and then down to this one, which we do from underneath and pull up. I'm then going to use my tweezers to go through the next guide, which goes through there from the right to the left. And then Janome gets a bit silly on us. They've given us this nice little picture, but in order to see that you actually need to see through plastic. I'm not completely sure about you, but my X-ray vision is really not up to scratch. So I'm going to need to show you in other ways how to get this done. Open up the left side of the machine, take the thread from the right side through to the left side. We are then going to be working inside the machine. There is that guide. Hold the thread on either side, go under the guide and pull it up. I'm now going back to the front of the machine. This at the front is my lower looper, and that's the bit that we're trying to thread at the moment. I was pleased to see that amongst Jan's toolkit she had a looper threader. We're going to run that down the front through the groove on the looper, and it will go through a little hole on the other side. Let's move you over a little bit. You can see there the looper threader has come out. I'm going to hook the thread through the end of that and then pull it back. We have the thread has gone through the next part. I'm going to take you around to the side again to show you which part it is that it's gone through. If I roll the machine down, you can see that the thread has actually gone through a hole in there. There's even a green mark on that. So by putting the looper threader through and putting the thread around it, I could pull it back through that hole fairly easily. The other way to do it is to push the thread through from this side, and that is considerably more difficult to do. Hopefully you've got a looper threader. It is possible to do it without it. With the thread back here, I'm just going to bring my looper into view and thread the hole at the end of it. Pick that up, and the thread should be going directly along that groove in the lower looper. I put the thread between the blade and the foot and out to the left. And that's the worst part of threading the Janome Mylock 134D, the lower looper. If you do not have a looper threader, maybe somebody threw it out before you knew what it was for, they are available from dealers, and I do have another video on how to do it without a looper threader. So that will be in the playlist for this machine. Next, we're doing the upper looper. This one's easier. Now we're doing the number 2, the red one, and bringing that thread down from the bar at the top. We go from the right to the left, and then we're going to go under the tension disc and up over that piece. It's important once again to make sure we're properly into the tension disc, so pull on it to make sure it's in there properly. Bring the thread down and go to the right of this and pull to the left. There is another one down here, lower, and you just go under it and pull it up. There is a wire at the top of this shaft. We need to go behind it and over to the left. And I'm just going to move this so that you can see the looper better. So it's there. Take that thread through the eye of the looper from the front to the back. Pull it up. Make sure it hasn't unwound itself from the wire. And then I'm going to bring that down between the foot and the blade and out to the left. The next one on the diagram is the blue one, which is the right needle. I'll bring that down, go under, and I've given that a pull already to make sure that it's properly in there. This is the next blue one. If I've got the needles up, I just go over the top of that. Pull this one from the middle out to the right, and then the guide that is above the needles. The needle needs to be threaded from the front to the back. I'm going to use a needle threader for it. If you don't know how to use one of these, I do have a video on how it's done. I take the thread down between the foot and the blade and over to the left. And now we're on to the yellow one, which is the left needle, and it's the last bit. Thread under the tension disc and give it a tug to make sure it's all in there properly. We're going across and then out to the left. Then the guide above the needle. The needles are HA1SP, which means ballpoint needles, and the groove is running down the front of the needle. And that thread goes the same place as all the others, between the blade and the foot and out to the left. With the foot down, I like to hold these threads and give all of the threads at the top a tug to just be sure that they are fully bedded into the tension discs. With the foot down, I can hold the threads and hand wind. You'll start to see threads coming together in this part of the machine. Assuming that that chaining started to happen, then you're ready to put the plug in and press go. Big thanks to Jan for letting me use her machine. I really appreciate it. Hope you've got something out of this today, and I'll see you next time.